All right, welcome back to our pregame show. Todd Morris with you here on the Bulldog Radio Network, and it's time to sit down with UMS-Wright head football coach Terry Curtis for our weekly pregame interview. And, Coach, here we go again this week, moving on after what I call a very, very hard-fought victory last week over Beauregard, 48-3, and we knew going into the game they were big, but, man, what a physical ball game.
Well, it was, and we felt it.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things you kept talking to the kids, man, hang in there, and they did that. They were getting pushed around a pretty good bit and winning a few battles, losing a few battles, getting hit a few times, and a big old 230, 40-pound running back running at them every time. I mean, that takes a lot of courage, and they stood in there, and we gave up a bunch of yards. Probably they ran a bunch of plays. I think they ran like 75 plays to our 30-something.
Yeah, they ran 29 more plays than we did.
Than we did, but I'm still proud of our kids.
Absolutely.
For hanging in there. You can say, well, man, Coach, that was rough. They were running over you, this, that, and other. Well, they're supposed to run over us, But we found a way to make some plays. I thought the fourth down stop when they went down forward in their own territory on the 4th and 2, and we stopped them. I don't really blame them. I'd have probably gone for it, too, the way they were running the ball.
Yeah.
But we found a way to make a play, and, the fumble recovery that Joe picked up and ran back, the kickoff return. I mean, I just named play after play where we just kept hanging around and found a way to make a play, and we moved the ball on them pretty well.
Absolutely. Yeah, but they had the ball 29 more plays than we did. They had 403 yards of total offense to our 288. But like you said, they couldn't stop us. Cole Blaylock had, 4 touchdowns, a crucial pass play, I thought, at a great time in the game from Sutton Snipes to Matthew Hedge for the touchdown, because that was a momentum breaker for them, I thought, at that point. And then we did. We took advantage of a couple breaks that we had, and that's just, to me, been the resiliency of the team all year.
And we were good in the kicking game.
Absolutely.
Again, they given us the ball every time, 40 to 50-yard line with those squib kicks.
Yep.
And, Todd, you know yourself being a coach, man, that makes a big difference when you only have to go 50 yards instead of 75 or 80 from back there. Yeah. And, I thought we hung in there in the kicking game. I don't think Will ever punted.
No.
We did one spread punt.
Yeah,
it's all that we punted. So, but I thought the kickoffs had a lot to do with it, and field position, and where they had to go 75 or 80 yards, we didn't have to go but 50 or 60. So I thought that was a big difference.
I thought the other it's not a surprise because they've been doing it for – the offensive line has really come together.
Well, I'm telling you now, when you got 2 offensive line guys like Brandon and Steve Campbell, who, Steve was a head coach at a couple of places, but he has always been known as an offensive line coach. And to have his expertise and being at the highest level, and with Brandon, with his experience – I mean, those guys just every week seem to get better and better. And you're right. That other night maybe was one of their best games. I thought Drew Crane and Charlie Watts were really good. And the rest of them, held their own and got on the right men. But it's fun to watch those guys get better and better.
Talk a little bit about the penalties. First time I can remember us having 9 penalties in a game. A lot of yardage.
105 yards.
Yeah.
We had 2 interference penalties, had a couple holding penalties, had a face mask penalty, had a roughing the kicker penalty, and that makes it even more whatever that we won the game. You playing guys that big, really, I think the one was on Ty and one was on Barr, I think it was. But, those things happen sometimes. But the interference penalties, we've got to get our hands off of them. Of course, you talk to the secondary coach, it wasn't interference. It's that and other.
Yeah, of course not.
But they're calling it, So you got to get your hands off of them. And, we've talked a lot. We've got to play better in the secondary. And all over, but we just got to be able to get off blocks a little better and probably tackle a little better.
So here comes the one road trip we always talk about that you're going to have to take in the playoffs if you're going to make it all the way to the state finals, and a Thursday night game here at Charles Henderson. They're 10-1. number 1 seed from Region 2. Little different team defensively, I think, than what we saw last week. A little more athletic, a little more longer, leaner. Give us your thoughts on Charles Henderson.
Well, exactly. They're more athletic. They the whole team.
Yeah.
I don't care if you talk about their offense or defense or what. They're not going to just out-physical you. They're not going to try to out-physical you. They're going to be more finesse, try to make big plays, and try to get you out in space and have to tackle them. And their ends and their outside linebackers are long.
Right.
They're about 200 pounds probably, and 6'3", 6'4" type guys that can run. Same thing in the secondary, and we're gonna have to be able to run the ball, but we're gonna have to more or less this week maybe run a little bit more right at them and see how physical and try to make it a physical game. And then on offense, they got a big running back also, and they ride him, but they got 2 or 3 receivers that are really good, and the quarterback is efficient, and their kicking game's good.
Yeah,
probably the best we've played.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Now you got to look at probably having to start at the 20 more than we have all season, probably, and
exactly.
be ready to go 80 yards.
The boy kicks it in the end zone. I was looking at the stats. Matter of fact, Sunday or Saturday, and Cole's been our middle guy in every game for 12 straight games, and he's only got 7 kickoff returns all year long.
Yeah. So
they have not kicked it to him last 2 or 3 weeks. So we had to go back to working on our returns, and if he don't kick it, but I can tell you we didn't waste a whole lot of time on kick returns, because he does kick so many of them in the end zone.
So last week's game was such a physical game. Short turnaround this week to play on Thursday night. Any concerns about that with you from the recovery standpoint?
Sure. We had a bunch in Saturday and Sunday for treatment, sore. It looks like everybody will be okay to play except probably Thomas Hall.
Okay, I was going to ask you.
Thomas probably won't play. He's moving around a lot better than he did when we left the game other night, but I just don't see him being ready to play unless Stacy got a miracle drug or something. And no one hates it more than I do. And only one I know that hates it more than I do is Thomas.
Yeah.
And the way he loves the game and being a senior and all the things that he brings to the table for our team, we're going to miss him if he can't play.
Right.
And we're not counting on him playing, so that's kind of where we are. But the rest of them are hurting and sore, but they'll play.
Hopefully we're moving on next week, and Thomas can get back into it here before the end of the season.
Well, man, it'd be fun. If we could find a way to win this game and get back home next week against either Faith. Both of them have wanted us again, so that'd be a lot of fun and let them have a chance. But we've got our hands full in Troy this week.
Yeah, but it's always fun if you can play it on Thanksgiving week.
Oh,
It
yeah.
means you've had a great season. So,
Yeah.
All right, well, Coach, that'll do it for us here on the pregame show. Always look forward to hearing from you. Good luck tonight, and hopefully we are doing this again next week.
All right, let's pull for the Bulldogs. All right, what do you think, Avery?
Round three of the playoffs coming up. The 12-0 UMS-Wright Bulldogs and the 10-1 Charles Henderson Trojans from Veterans Memorial Stadium here on the campus of Troy University. We'll be back with the opening kickoff in just a minute. You're listening to UMS-Wright football here on Sports Talk 99.5 Mobile, an iHeart radio station.